Hey guys. Welcome to Couple. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Only in hindsight does everything become clear. If that weren't true, Obi-Wan Kenobi would never have put a lightsaber in Anakin Skywalker's hands. Thus it's all too easy to now assume that Solo, a Star Wars story's sizable crash across the surface of the global box office, was always a done deal. On Monday morning, everyone was unsurprised by the challenge of recasting Harrison Ford, but on the Thursday afternoon prior, the industry was salivating at the prospect of the film opening with at least $30 million more in its total. Nevertheless, you can be as sure as Yoda's Force Ghost that Disney, Lucasfilm, and the entire fleet of Star Wars fandom will be taking stock in Solo's financial failures while trying to figure out just what went wrong, and what lessons can be learned from the wreckage's little black box. And we're more than willing to take a crack at it too, because even though Solo is the second standalone a Star Wars story to be produced by Lucasfilm in the post-George Lucas era, it in many ways was the first real gamble by Disney to expand the Star Wars universe into something less grandly cinematic and more financially lucrative, and serialized. It was their first genuine attempt to copy the business strategy of Disney's Marvel Studios. Ever since Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012, the plan has always been to release Star Wars movies annually. In essence, they'd turn what has been a multi-generational touchstone of fantasy and imagination, the original trilogy, into a source for endless adventures, films, and merchandisable profits. This would be done by immediately continuing the original Star Wars saga that had concluded more than 30 years earlier in Return of the Jedi, 1983, and to fill in gap years between new episodes, there'd be standalone one-offs. In the aftermath of Solo's disappointment, many have speculated that Star Wars should now exclusively be a December-slated franchise, as the previous 3 Disney-produced Star Wars movies all made at least $1.3 billion beginning with a holiday season kickoff. Ironically, this was never the original intention, though. Last year's The Last Jedi was also meant to be a Memorial Day release until delays forced it to Christmas, as has already happened with 2019's Episode 9 too. Solo is simply the first to make good on a strategy intended for last year, which was to test out if there could be 2 Star Wars movies released in 5 months. More than just the season of Solo's release, it is the strategy to test out having 2 Star Wars movies in relatively quick succession that did the harshest damage to Solo's reception. Because more than phantom online threats to boycott Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, or even the resistance toward recasting one of Harrison Ford's most beloved roles, it is the misconception that the Star Wars universe can mimic the Marvel Cinematic Universe that likely caused Solo to tumble. Try as you might, you cannot place a round, Star Wars peg into a square, Marvel-shaped hole. Indeed, Solo is the first real step toward repeating the fairly brilliant commercial strategy of what Kevin Feige has built. While Rogue One was also a spin-off movie from the main Star Wars saga, it was actually what Lucasfilm suggested these Star Wars stories would be, a standalone. Telling a story with a beginning, middle, and rollicking end, it was a true war film in which all the soldiers died giving their last full measure. Tony Gilroy, the filmmaker who apparently reworked much of the second half of the movie, even says he considers it more of a Battle of Britain movie than a Star Wars picture. The result though was an offshoot that was just marginally far enough away from the traditional Star Wars movies to be its own thing.